Giving all praise to Yahweh, Shem Shai, Shem Rakakwadash, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, Perception, Reality. So look those words up, perception and reality. Anyway, this is a video, fair use, that was put up by Vocab Malone. Pro-Hamas mob attacks Israelites in Chicago. Now, when you listen to this, he doesn't just mention Wi-Fi. He mentions another group. So it was two Israelite groups that came together. The Unity Camp. Anyway, the reason why I entitled it The Perception Reality is the reality is you had Wi-Fi in this other camp, Unity Camp in Chicago, get physical with the Palestinians. Whether the Palestinians threw the first bottle of rock or attacked, it wound up being a melee. But that's the reality. Whoever started, the reality is that there was a melee. The perception is, however, and they're speaking about it all on YouTube, that the Israelites are taking the side of Israel, the state of Israel. That's how it's perceived. That's how they look at it. People that don't know this group, the Wi-Fi or the other group, and they said they're Israelites. You know, there you go, taking a broad brush on all the Israelites. There's a IUIC, there's a ISUPK, there's a HODC, there's a HOI, there's the GMS. So there's many groups out there of Israelites. But like I said, they'll take the broad brush and they'll paint it on. See, the Israelites. So guess what? Palestinian says, oh, these were these Israelites. So we're at war with the Israelites, you know? So that's the perception. That's the perception, which is a bad look. Now you have a chief individual by the name of Chief Ephraim, which is a part of HOI, which is headed by Priest Zabak, and he's talking about around to calling all camps to go out to Chicago to confront the Palestinians, and that easily turned into a bigger melee, and people can get stabbed up, hurt, hospitalized, even killed. And I had some precepts I was going to put together. I'm not going to put it together right now. Then again, I might just go ahead and do it. There's a bunch of precepts that come to my head showing that there's clearly not becoming of a servant of the Most High to do these things. Now, I understand if you're out there speaking, you know, you're minding your own business, meaning speaking the word, you got the camera or the cameras out there, and you got 3 or 4 Edomites or whatever roll up on you, and you're back and forth, and then they just jump you. Yeah, you have a right to defend yourself. Or you can perceive that it's going to get messy. We're just going to pack up and leave, or we're not going to say nothing. See, the job of the prophet of the Lord, if you are prophets, got a lot of guys that are not prophets that just come out there. And the job of a prophet is just to prophesy. That's it. Remember Yahushua, when he was confronted, they tried to grab him up. He would disappear among the people. Now, mind you, Yahushua had spiritual power. He made a statement. He said, I have power, merely paraphrasing, I have power to call down 7 legions legions of angels, I think he said 12 legions. 12 legions, I believe he said. They said 7 because 7,000 is a legion. A little bit less than 7,000. You got like 600 horsemen, and the rest of them are footmen. The ones on the horse are of higher rank than the footmen. Then you have ranks among the footmen. And by the way, Esau and their armies, they had legions. They had legions. They had about 600 horsemen, and the rest were footmen. So that the Roman, Greco-Roman, I'll say, war strategy they got from Esau, the Edomites, because they are Edomites. Even small hats will tell you that the Romans, the Roman Empire, the white Roman Empire, are descended from Esau. So anyway, I'm gonna let you hear this. So, so now the world is perceiving that the Israelites are taking the side of the Israelis, or the state of Israel, which was a stupid move, Anyway, I'm gonna let you listen.
So it looks like Hebrew Israelites from two different camps, watchmen for Israel and Anointed House of Saints, somehow ended up in a scuffle with pro-Palestinian protesters in Chicago. Watch. So as you can see, police had to break it up. It's unclear exactly what started this. The reports I've seen have not really given a reason exactly, but watch this. Now in this next part, after the police break it up, you're going to hear the Hebrew Israelites yelling, Kwam Yasharallah, which means Israel rise. As many of you have already seen a couple of days ago, it looks like Hebrew Israelites from two different camps, watchmen for Israel and Anointed House of Saints, somehow ended up in a scuffle with pro-Palestinian protesters in Chicago. Watch. So as you can see,
yeah, so we saw it, which is a really bad move, and this thing that Chief Ephraim said was clearly wrong. It's clearly not scriptural. It's not, a spiritual man wouldn't do something like this. Let's go for a second round, all camps going to join in, converge on in Chicago, so we can go round two with the Palestinians, which is clearly carnal. They'll go out speaking and blasting, but it'll wound up being a melee unless there's enough police out there. And if it does happen, if it's another melee, some of these people are going to go to the hospital. Possibly some of them are going to die on either side. Some of them are going to get arrested. And the world's going to perceive it as, like I said, the so-called black Hebrew Israelites are allied to the state of Israel. So what is the leader, or what are the people of Israel saying when they see all this? There's an old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. The Israeli government are enemies with the Palestinians. They use a key word, the terrorist group Hamas, which that's a whole nother video. You have black Hebrew Israelites, I'll call them, fighting against the Palestinians. So how are they perceiving it? Oh, that's a good thing. We cheer, we clap, we applaud. The black Hebrew Israelites, they're on our side. Why are they on the Israeli side? Because they're fighting their enemies, their number one enemies. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Like I said in the last video that I did concerning Naquan, it says, not a novice, least being lifted up with pride, he come under the condemnation of the devil. So the devil is got in his ear. Like I said, there's many precepts that come to mind. One precept is Romans chapter 8, where it speaks about a carnal man. Carnal man is an enmity or enemy of the Most High. Read that, Romans 8, from the first verse on down. Speaks about the spiritual man and the carnal man. Scripture says, the servant of the Lord shall not strive, but be gentle. There were 40 men that took an oath not to eat anything until somebody killed the Apostle Paul. That's how much they hated the Apostle Paul. And he was on the run. Now, mind you, the apostles gathered from 120 to 500 to 1,000 to 3,000 to 5,000. So at one time, the apostleship, the people that followed them were 5,000. So they had enough people to go, fight the enemies, fight the scribes and the Pharisees. Remember when they, Act 5, when they kicked us, they beat us with rods? Now we got 5,000. We're going to roll. We're going to see if they're going to beat us with rods this time. No, they didn't do that. Apostle Paul was let out of a window and escaped. So, when you go to the history of the Shaolin Temple, the Shaolin monks, they didn't study martial arts. And they were fat, out of shape, very docile, meek, and low testosterone. So then when they would go to certain villages, they would get, jumped, beat up. So they had to learn martial arts. So they became great in martial arts, according to how the legend goes. But they started off as monks, non-violent men, but they were forced to be violent. So that doesn't apply to us. Okay? If that was the case, another precept comes to mind. Yahushua made this statement. He said, if this were my kingdom, my servants would fight. If this were my kingdom, my servants will fight. Let me give you that. Let me do it this way. Should have came up. is B. All right, my servants will fight. Let me do it this way. Maybe I'm quoting it wrong. Come back to the KJV. Okay, it's 107 times. Let's go to the New Testament. I'm sorry, I quoted a little bit wrong. That's why it didn't come up. John 18:36. Yahushua answered, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence. Just let's go back a couple of verses. Let me go right here. Pilate answered, am I a Jew? Thine hand, matter of fact, let me go to the red letter to show you who's speaking here. So this is Pilate. Pilate answered, am I a Jew? Thine own nation and the chief priests have delivered thee unto me. What hast thou done? So he's saying, going into the whole kingdom thing, because the word was out that he was the king, right? Because it's going to tell you that in the 37th verse. So he's saying, if you're a king, why did the chief priests and the people bring you to me to be judged if you're the king? Because he wasn't the king of this world. He's the king of the world to come. Yahushua answered, my kingdom is not of this world. Meaning my kingdom is not come yet. It's we're in the time of the rulership of the Romans. And the Roman authorities took what the apostles were saying as a physical threat, because they took everything as a physical threat. That they're going to amass an army and they're going to take down the Roman Empire on a physical level. It says, so this is the Lord. My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servant fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews, the priests, the chief priests. But now is my kingdom not from hence. The kingdom is going to come down from heaven, pursuant to Revelation chapter 21, first couple of verses. Pilate therefore said unto him, art thou a king? Are you a king? Aren't you a king? Yahushua answered, thou sayest that I am a king. To this end was I born. So you're saying, yes, I am a king. And for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. How do we push out the truth? Through the word, through our mouths, through the spirit of his mouth, and by the brightness of his coming. Consumed with the spirit of his mouth and the brightness of his coming. So our only job is to be mouthpieces to the Most High. Everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice. We should start using this. You jakes that can't hear this, everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice. So the jakes that can't hear it, they're not of the truth. So like I said, there's a lot of precepts that came to mind. And one precept that's in my mind right now, a word term that's throughout the scriptures, is rebuke. Galatians. I believe that's Galatians 6. Brother, if a man be overtaken in the fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Scripture speak about rebuking somebody, telling them that they're going off. So here we are, and we're the only group that came against this whole thing. We're the only group that came against the Wi-Fi. So the leader came back and said, they ain't do nothing wrong. And I'm like, I got scriptures to prove it. You guys are a bunch of niggas. And then you have Chief Ephraim talking about, we going back out there. We're going to bring the crew, and we're going to be around too. That's clearly carnal. That's clearly carnal. Remember what the Lord told Peter when he cut off Malchus' ear. He picked it back up, put it in his ear, healed him, and he told Peter, put back thy sword. He said the ones that yield the sword, I'm merely paraphrasing, shall die by the sword. So how is Esau going to go down? Esau was given a sword by Isaac, right? Which is Yahushai, reincarnated. But he's going to die by the sword. The sword that the gun, the sword, the knife, the ICBM, he's going to be destroyed. Everything, all of Esau's blessing is through the sword. It's through the missiles. That's their power. That's their blessing. So they're going to die by their blessing. I don't know if I spelled this right. It's telling me I spelled it right. Let's see. You know what I'm going to do? Let me open this up. I'll go to the first verse. Overseers and deacons, meaning leadership positions, right? It says, this is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop or leader, he desireth a good work. A bishop then must be, and that's saying a leader, because it says here, deacons, bishops, apostles, teachers, prophets, anybody that's in a leadership position of one of the camps, any of the camps, a bishop, leader, prophet, apostle, leader, There must be blameless, the husband of one wife, of vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach, not given to wine, nor striker, nor greedy of filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous. One that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of the Most High? The church of the people. Not a novice, lest being lifted up with pride, he fall into the condemnation of the devil. Seven verses good. 8 verse. Likewise, must the deacons be grave, not double-tongued, not given to much wine, nor greedy of filthy lucrative profits, holding the mystery of the faith in a pure conscience. Even so must their wives be grave, not slanderous, sober, faithful in all things. You can't have a nigga be a prophet of the Lord, a righteous man, and your wife is a nigga. Let me take the word brawler. Okay, it's not here. It could be spelled different in the Apocrypha. Proverbs 22, verse 24, make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go. Somebody that always like to get into, you look at them the wrong way, and again, you hang out with them, you're going to get caught up in it. Somebody pulls out a tool on him, and then you're going to die with the dude. Proverbs 29, 22, an angry man stirreth up strife, and a furious man aboundeth in transgression. Oh boy, that's a cut. Where you want me to start cutting? Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go. An angry man stirreth up strife, fighting, and a furious man aboundeth in transgressions, which is sin. The scriptures say, agree with thy adversary quickly while thou still in the way. Lest he just summon the officer, and the officer take you to the judge, and you be locked up until you pay for your crime. Proverbs 14, verse 17, he that is soon angry dealeth foolishly. A guy that just gets, angry at the drop of a dime, he does things without thinking, and he winds up, killing somebody, doing life in prison, and then he thinks about it. He's calmed down in prison. He thinks about the shit, and he said, it was my fault. I had to control. When you have a situation like that, you get time and you get locked up, and then you got to deal with anger management. show you how to control yourself. They mandate you to that. It says, he that is soon angry dealeth foolishly, and a man of wicked device is hated. A man of wicked device is hated. Got a man if we got a man in our camp, every week he's starting to fight. Brothers got to hold him back. And the cops come, and 1 week he gets locked up, he gets out, he does the same thing. You got to kick that man out the camp. Let not the sun Ephesians 4 verse 26, be ye angry and sin not. You can get mad, but don't do nothing stupid. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. So the statement that Chief Ephraim made, we're going to go out there, we're going to get the whole crew out there, and we're going to roll up on them, pull up boys and all that. The scripture said, let not the sun go down upon your wrath. In other words, before the sun go down, get it out of your system. Second Timothy 2 verse 24, and the servant of Yahweh, the prophet of the Lord, must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, patient. Let me look at that in the NLT. I'm sorry. Let me do it this way. Bring it back. A servant of the Lord must not quarrel, but must be kind to everyone. If it at all possible, live peaceably with all men. Be peaceable with all men. Be able to teach and be patient with difficult people. Give you the definition of the word strive. Lay hands on no man suddenly.
Strong's G 3164, Machamai. Machamai.
to fight of armed combatants or those who engage in a hand-to-hand struggle. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say